Okay. Uh, can you please state your name, company you work for, the title or position, and your day-to-day operations?
Okay, my name's Larry Courier. I work for Evans and Associates Enterprises out of Ponca City, Oklahoma. I'm a vice president of operations and a board member on the board of directors. My duties from day-to-day operations is I manage 14 concrete plants, a sand plant in southwest Oklahoma, and a trucking company in southern Oklahoma. And we have managers at each one of those plants, but my job is to get around and help them and in their daily operations and help them make the decisions and do that.
Okay. Can you name some attributes or characteristics that a manager will need to be successful? For like instance, like if you're looking to hire someone in your spot.
Okay. Well, first of all, experience is so important in the position where I'm at. You have to have the experience to go out and work with young and old alike, and now there's a lot of decisions both in sales as well as maintenance on and around the plants, and from time to time we'll tear plants down and build new ones, as we did recently in Alva, Oklahoma. So I think the most important thing I've learned through the years, you've got to be hands-on. If you're not there every day, seeing, watching, helping, you just don't. Number one, you're not for sure what's going on, and number two, your people may not be getting the job done, and that's the way they learn if you're there with them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Are you familiar with the carrot and stick philosophy?
No.
So, for instance, do you reward your employees more, or are you more lenient, or do you lean towards punishment more?
Well, I think that I'm not lenient at all. We all have a job to do. They know what their job is. If they don't, they should ask. But we make it very clear we have a job description in our company for each position, so they know what their jobs are. And most of the time, all these gentlemen have been with the company a while and worked their ways up through the ranks, and so they know their job description. However, I'm more of a reward than I am as far as disciplining. You know, my thought on that is if I have to discipline, I've got the wrong guy or gal in that position.
When you are faced with conflict within the organization, such as employees or in between employees or employees showing up late, how do you typically deal with that?
Well, first thing is, and this is we're a pretty structured company, so the first thing is we sit down and have a verbal conversation about what they're doing wrong and right, and at that time we will document that and I will sign it. I always have a witness with me. Now, with a verbal discussion, we don't make the employee sign that. However, if it elevates to the second time, then it is a written discipline in which everyone has to sign. And of course, unfortunately, third is automatic termination.
Okay. Would you consider yourself more as a manager or leader?
Oh, I don't even like the word manager. I like to be a leader. You know, I was very fortunate. I got my first managing job when I was 19 years old, and I had a great boss, and he always told me, he said, Larry, I'm going to tell you something that you can take throughout your life, and if you do, you'll never have a problem. And his philosophy was that he passed on to me. Never ask anybody to do something you wouldn't want to do, and if you have to ask them, jump in and do it with them, and that's being a leader, and that's pretty much the way I've led my life.
That's good. Good. Well, you answered the second one. That's a perfect answer. But what are some challenges the most challenging parts of your job, and how do you usually resolve them?
I think the most challenging part of my job today is to find people, managers, leaders that want to lead. They want to kind of sit back and let someone else do it, or maybe they're afraid to make that jump, but the only way you're going to learn is to just get in there and do it. We all make mistakes. You learn from those mistakes. I still make mistakes today, but the difference between a manager and a good manager is one that gets in there, does it, makes mistakes, learns from them, and does it again.
In the position that you are in right currently, do you consider it to be more skill-based or who you know?
Well, I think that it never hurts who you know. You know, we all we're in an industry where we have a lot of good friends, and some we share ideas, share thoughts. Sometimes when we get a job's too big for us, we call in friends that have equipment or things that can help us, and I think that's so important because it's all about getting the job done. And there's times when they'll call upon us. So I would have to say that being able to skill is important, but you'll gain that through time. But good friends in the industry are very important.
All right, for a final question, is there anything that you would like to bestow, like any advice that you would give to a younger person?
Well, I think don't be afraid to take the challenge. You're going to get offered a job, and you're going to go home, and you're not going to sleep that night. But because you're worried about whether you can do it or satisfying everybody. Just go out and be yourself. Be hands-on. Jump right in there, work with people, get the job done, and I think that is just that's the biggest thing you can do to make your life easier and to make and it's rewarding. So that'd be my suggestion.
All right. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it.
Thank you.